Hi, I'm Kate Spare, and welcome to Success on the Move, where I have the opportunity to sit down with some unique individuals discussing their unique stories. Let's take a look. A lot of people start out as entrepreneurs and want to own their own business. What makes Tyrone Jackson so successful in his approach to entrepreneurship? He says it's all about finding and duplicating success, using formulas that work, and applying those formulas over and over. Over the last decade, Jackson is known to many around the world as the wealthy investor. His live event seminars teach self-directed investors how to handle their funds and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars without a financial broker. In addition to being a financial guru of sorts, Jackson is also a media mogul in the making. He's the creator of Hot in Hollywood TV, an online streaming service that provides direct access to the entertainment business here in Hollywood. On top of Hot in Hollywood TV, Jackson also created Global Soul Networks. Global Soul Networks allows digital content creators like Michelle Obama and Stephen A. Smith to have their content distributed in countries like Africa, India, and Australia. Tyrone Jackson is not just an entrepreneur. He's truly success in motion. Today's guest is Tyrone Jackson. Tyrone, thank you so much for being here today.
You. It's so nice to be here with you.
I'm so excited to talk with you.
Well, thank you.
I'd love to get right into your story.
Sure.
Where did you grow up?
You know, I was born in New York City. I was born in Harlem, but I don't remember that. Raised by a single mother, and we somehow found ourselves on Staten Island, New York. I always say not a lot happens in Staten Island. It's all happening in the big city, but that's where I grew up until I transitioned into the big city, which is Manhattan.
Wow, okay. So through your childhood, did you have any parents, I'm guessing your mom, that was an entrepreneur, or anyone around you in your circle that was an entrepreneur that became an idol?
Well, actually, my parents did not live together, but my father would come over and spend time with us, and then he would go back to his place. And that's where the entrepreneurial journey where the seed was planted, right?
Okay.
Because my father was really good at getting government money, grant money back in the 60s for minority-owned businesses. And for some reason, at the age of 9, he would explain that process to me, which meant absolutely nothing at the time. But he was a really good storyteller, so I listened.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think you picked up any of your storytelling skills and hosting skills from that as well?
I think so. I mean, you know, my father wasn't a performer in that sense, but he knew how to explain a subject to me in a way with a few illustrations and maybe some drawings on a paper. Yeah. And I would go, wow. And like most young boys, I idolized my father. I used to call him the smartest man in the world because it seemed like whatever question I had for him, he had the answer. Now, it wasn't always right, but he had an answer. And I was like, this guy's good. Yeah. So I love that time that we had together.
Oh, wow. Do you think that it kind of spurred a creative, I don't know, feeling in you because you've gotten into the hosting world, the media world? Did you feel like maybe you'd go into a more creative route of acting, being in front of the camera?
Well, I knew I was going to be a performer. That was for sure. And you know, because you have felt the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You are born a performer. And I didn't know how to turn that into a living. I didn't know that whatever talents or sensibilities I had needed to be honed or trained. But I learned that a little bit later on. And I got my first television commercial at the age of 17 because someone said you need headshots and then you'll need an agent. And by my 17th birthday, I was on television and getting paid, which was amazing. And that's when I knew I wanted to do that for a living. I wanted to make that my profession, which, as you know, Kate, is very hard. Yeah. But I was destined to figure it out. I didn't want to be like that broke actor guy.
Right, right. Did you continue on that path of auditioning?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I did everything that every working actor does, which is musical theater. You work the stage crew. That's how you know how the lights work and all of that. And I loved it. I felt like I was at home. I found my tribe. Yeah. The tricky part was, how do you stay a performer and not trade it in for a real job? Right. My mother used to say all the time, the best thing that's ever going to happen to you is you'll get a job where you earn overtime. I was like, overtime? I don't want overtime.
Yeah.
But she used to also say to me, but remember, the more you make, the more they take, meaning the United States government, right? So I was like, this doesn't sound good. Plus, we had no money.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm better off betting on my dreams, because this life that we have of not having enough, this is not my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when was the moment that you realized, okay, maybe I need to look outside of the acting, performing world and kind of make myself my own boss instead of answering to someone
Well,
else?
I thought that was the world. I mean, it was just, if I wanted to do it for a living, like, I remember my mother would have people over on the weekends, and around 3 o'clock, people were like, what do you do? Oh, tomorrow. If you catch the train or take the highway at this time, you could shave 15 minutes. And I would listen to these people who had jobs, and I was like, that does not sound like a fun life. Right? It's already Sunday afternoon and you're dreading going back to work. So I thought about the entertainment business. I knew I was going to do that, but how do I get rich? Because my father was very big on getting rich. Even though he was in a business where he helped people almost for free, it was so much money we would talk about. I was like, well, how do you do that? There's got to be a way to start from nothing and get to millionaire status.
Yeah.
How do you do that? And nobody in your neighborhood's going to show that to you. So I fell in love with books. Barnes and Noble. I would go to the Barnes and Noble store, take my allowance, and buy books on money, because I was trying to make some sort of nexus between where I was and where I wanted to go. So show business was great, because when you do commercials, you work one day and you get these checks. So I was like, when I started to get those checks, I'm like, all right, I'm halfway home to the life that I want.
Okay, so thus the entrepreneur mind was also born into the creative mind as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you work one day and you make $15,000, who wants a real job
Right.
after that, right?
Exactly.
So that worked for me.
So what was the first business that you opened or that you created?
Well, I think one of the things, I never knew I was an entrepreneur. I had heard that word, but I never knew I was an entrepreneur until, because, entrepreneurs try a bunch of things.
Absolutely.
I got involved in the psychic business.
Really?
Yeah, because a buddy of mine had bought some, back when I was in my 20s, some psychic lines. There were 900 numbers back then. And I knew how to write ad copy because of commercials, and I knew how to buy time in newspapers. So at the seminar, they teach you how to make money off of 900 numbers. They're like, and the psychic business. I was like, that's me, right? So I buy these numbers from what they call the Service Bureau, and they're just numbers, and I knew how to market them. So I would take an ad in a local San Francisco newspaper and say, San Francisco's favorite psychics are waiting to hear from you. Then I'd go to DC, buy 13 weeks worth of ads there, DC's favorite psychics. And people would call, get the psychic reading. Now remember, I don't have the line, some other company does. It was like $3.99 a minute, and it was a 50-50 split. So the more ads I bought, presumably the more people called in from all over the country, and you really made your money back then, right? You really made your money from as many cities as you could be in.
Oh my goodness.
So that was my first, like, oh my God, I think I can make some real money. And I started to get these checks, and you would see how long the person stayed on the line, and those checks were like residuals to me.
Yes.
So I was like, residual income. Because I didn't have to know the psychics at all. I just had to have the relationship with the Service Bureau. So that lasted for 6 months to a year. Then I got into buying time in magazines, and no one knew it was me. That was the best part.
Wow, so it was all behind the scenes. You were kind of
because I was just
quietly
managing
doing this.
the media buy, as we would call it today.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, something is working. And someone said, oh, you're an entrepreneur. I was like, me? I just have some psychic lines.
Right.
No, but you like to own businesses and things that make money without you showing up. And I went, I guess I am an entrepreneur.
Maybe I am.
That'll suit me.
Wow.
So that little endeavor right then and there told me that I was like a guy who had a certain mindset. I like to manage money, And how many more businesses can I get like that?
Yeah, and I'm sure along the way you had some major setbacks and failures as trying all these different avenues.
Oh, major setbacks. I failed at most of the other things that I tried.
Wow.
I bought late night books and tapes when that era was in. I bought real estate with a buddy of mine, and we couldn't keep that property. The upkeep was just too much. He sold me his half, then I sold my half at a loss, and I realized I wasn't really a real estate guy, which is ironic because I would wind up making a lot of money in real estate.
Yeah.
But that first try was not good. So I think to really be successful at almost anything, Kate, you have to fail a lot, because that failure is really where you learn how things works and how to get it right. So whenever I start a new venture, I expect to fail a lot in the beginning. It's like data, it's information, and it's telling you what not to do. And the more businesses you start, the better you get at being successful.
The more chances you have.
Correct, because you know the process now, right? What needs to be done, and if you need to hire people full-time, part-time, like you get to know how that works.
Wow. Well, that's such a mindset, a good mindset to have if someone is really interested in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And I want to hear more about your mindset shift and any advice you have for upcoming entrepreneurs. But we're going to take a quick break first.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll discuss that.
That sounds good to me.
We'll be right back.
So what's the reason Beyoncé sparkles when she hits the stage? Because she's trained herself for excellence, musically and physically. Now, with the Body Like B program, you can sculpt your body the same way as Lady B does. Inside the Body Like B program, we have 4 amazing workouts with celebrity trainer Venus Moore. The 4 workouts are glutes, thighs, core, and upper body. Everything you need to be like B. Now, you can use these exclusive Hollywood workouts and get amazing results in 30 days or less. All you have to do is sign up for this amazing program right now. Unlike other complicated workout programs, all you need to complete this workout plan is some space, a mat, dumbbells, and a desire to look great when you walk in a room. Here's a secret you may not know. Part of weight loss is nutrition and diet, cutting carbs and processed sugars. That's why we've included our complete nutritional guide absolutely free. Plus, we've included additional content we know you're gonna love. We've assembled our special team of Hollywood experts to teach you about nutrition and how to eat, how to do your makeup, style your hair, and how to dress like a Hollywood star. Now is the time to look and feel your best, just like Lady B herself. Don't wait. Get started right now.
Welcome back to Success on the Move. We're here talking with Tyrone Jackson, an entrepreneur extraordinaire. We were just discussing mindset shifts and what you've learned from the failures of all these businesses that you've started. Was there one failure in particular that you learned a very big lesson from?
Yeah, because they all hurt.
Sure.
When you write down something and you say, I see this making me, $500,000 a year or whatever, and you take some capital, some money from somewhere, and you risk it, and that doesn't happen, your feelings get hurt. And once you get past your feelings, you're like, what didn't I do? And if you're really committed or you're called in such a way, you figure out what you didn't do. So I don't have like tons and tons of failures, but I can think of a couple of things that didn't work. And that ultimately then led me to the seminar business, which led me back to media. So I figured out that I was the type of guy that didn't have $300,000-$400,000 to start a business. I had $5,000, and maybe I could scrape up $10,000. But some of my ideas that I really wanted to put in motion, I should have had $300,000, $500,000 to take a shot at them. And that's mostly why they, quote unquote, failed, because they needed more money behind them. And that's what's so extraordinary about the internet these days, is that you don't need $500,000. You can start a business on $1,500, build a website, start a podcast, and you could be in business, just have something that people can download.
Absolutely. So talk to me about Hot in Hollywood TV. Where did that idea come from?
Okay, well, I was always a media person, and I always knew what was going on in the entertainment business, and I thought, if I could add this to how I make my living, I would never feel like I'm working, right? So going to a movie premiere is not hard work to me. You just show up and you talk to the celebrities. You have 3 minutes with them. You don't ask them ridiculous questions you think the public would know. And I thought, in this age of apps, I should start a 24-hour streaming service for entertainment. Now, I also happen to know something about publicity and actors and promotion, and I saw an opening. Like here in Hollywood, everybody, I don't care who you are, you write a book, a movie, a song, you need to promote it. So I saw a space where the big studios, Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, they would need my promotional outlet because it doesn't cost them anything to go through me. But then in order to monetize that content, I would need sponsors, brands to work with me. So it's like, if I could get the brands, I know I can get the app built, and I know there's enough people worldwide that would pay for this 24-hour news with celebrities, and we would do it better than the major outlets because we were more grassroots.
Yes, yes.
So that's how the idea of Hot in Hollywood TV was born. And I had already owned a studio in Hollywood, and my lease was up. And so I said to one of my favorite engineers in the world, Kevin Cleveland, I said, Kevin, if I do this business, will you come along with me? Kevin goes, will you pay me on time? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So we started looking for a bigger space, and lo and behold, in Burbank, this whole loft space, which became a television studio, was available. I knew I could make the shows. I can get the writers. I can get Paramount and the big studios to join me, and that's what I did. And that's how we came up with Hot in Hollywood TV. It was a lot of work, though, because there were certain relationships I didn't have, and I had to convince people in the industry that you want Black and brown people to get this information, right?
Yeah.
You want them to buy that subscription or see that movie. And when they saw my point, they slowly came along.
Yes, absolutely. That's and it's a huge undertaking. So I'm wondering if there's any moment you had a fear that it was going to fail.
Every day I had a fear that it was going to fail.
Yeah.
Because there were things I had to learn. I had never lit a television studio before.
Wow.
I had never put together an organized production schedule. Where do you find the crew? Where do you find these makeup people? But I knew people who knew people. And so I'm saying, I'm looking for like a makeup crew to come in. Oh, I know this person who's really great. And then those people know people who you can employ, because I'm running a business, not a charity, right?
Right.
So the people who work for me got paid, and I'd have to sell them on my vision. Like, hey, think of coming to me before you go do that next job, because I pay better. And also, you know, that's a modeling job. This is a TV show I'm creating.
Right.
So that means weeks worth of work. So it meant a lot of sales.
Yes.
I'm constantly selling people
Right.
and pitching people on my ideas.
Right. Wow. Okay, so we're in the world of apps and on demand. That's how we're consuming a lot of our entertainment and our media. Your perspective,
Yes.
where do you think this is going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Everything is going to apps. Everything
Okay.
is going to be designed around the consumer and their desire. Beyonce's not coming to your house to do a concert. You still got to have to
Sure.
go out to see that.
Yes.
But almost anything you want is going to be on your phone, handheld device, or tablet.
Okay.
Because the next generation is being trained to accept that, right? Our job as producers is to monetize that content through those eyeballs.
Right.
So people are going to pay a small fee for everything they want in the world of entertainment, but you know, you get 2-3 million people paying you $3,
Wow.
you have a substantial business. So that's where we're going. The big boys and girls, the big studios, are just learning that. So they're going to have to reconfigure everything they've ever thought of as entertainment to fit the consumer.
Right.
And thus there'll be this wonderful relationship between the consumer and the content creator.
Yes.
I don't have to be Paramount. You just have to like the stuff that's on our network more than the other guy.
Yeah, and in a way, you're ahead of the curve.
Yes.
You're ahead of the big studios.
Yes.
This does give you an edge.
Correct. I mean, I was on I did a red carpet the other night with all these celebrities I had access to. And I can give that celebrity, on the publicity side, it's about time. I can give them more time than a big network show.
Right.
Because I'm not under the pressure. So the fans like to see their favorite stars and have access to them more time than they would on network TV.
Wow. So tell us how that app works. If we were going to download it, we're ready to start consuming our media here.
Well, first of all, it's very simple. You go to Hot in Hollywood TV first.
Okay.
Right now, Hot in Hollywood TV is free.
Wow.
But our partners are Apple TV, and our partners don't like it when it's free. So they're putting pressure on us to charge, right?
Sure.
Because they're our partners and they get a little piece.
Sure.
So I don't know how much longer we can keep Hot in Hollywood TV free. We're trying for the consumer because they're helping us learn what they like, right?
Okay, yeah.
So for those people who want to go to Hot in Hollywood TV, sign up for free now because 3 months from now, Apple's not going to let us keep it that way.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. You have such an amazing mindset shift for entrepreneurship. I'm wondering what I've heard, your 3 essentials for an entrepreneur, the mindset for you to start building a successful career.
Correct. First of all, you have to believe, and this is where we rely on our spiritual beliefs, right? That the universe, whatever that means to you, is on your side. It wants you to expand. It wants you to be happy. It wants you to have money. It wants you to have success. And so if we start off with that belief system, then we have some backing behind us, right?
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, when you write down your dreams, they become real. There is a power to writing down the things that you want and just looking at them every single day. Now, some people call this coincidence, but the more you do that, people will show up in your life that are consistent with the idea that you wrote down. It's as if you are magnetizing them to you. And I rely on my relationship with the universe to create everything. And so probably in the next couple of days, someone will show up that I really need in my business. And I'll just think, you're right on time, right?
I love that.
So those are 2 things that are really important. And you have to remember that everything is you learning. So on your way to that goal, that thing that you want to see happy, that thing you want to see happen, you're going to learn a lot of lessons. So the universe is just not going to plop you into this field of success. It's going to make sure you learn a couple of things so that when you get what you want, you can keep it and stay there. So if you see everything as a lesson, when you hit an obstacle, you won't resent that obstacle. You'll be able to accept it as like, oh, I didn't need that. I didn't know that I need to have permits for everything I shoot in Hollywood, for example. So if the universe is always on your side, it wants you to move forward. And the people who can do the right thing at the right place and time will show up in your life, but you're going to learn some lessons so that when you hit that goal, you're able to stay there.
Right, and even when you keep gaining the success, you keep up that habit of talking to the universe.
Because
we don't
success
stop.
is a series of positive habits. That's really all it is. People who win because they have some habits that work. People who don't succeed have habits that work against them. So we want to drop those negative habits and embrace the things that generally propel our success forward. You have to get used to being propelled forward. And then you say thank you and you move on from there.
Yeah, wonderful. That's so helpful for me, and I'm sure for everyone watching. We all need that type of advice. Tyrone, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. It was such a pleasure, and I learned so much. And I'd love to have you back to check in to see.
I get to come back to your studio, okay?
Yes.
To your show?
Yes, please.
Wow,
We'd love to see how Hot in Hollywood TV is doing.
Okay.
Thank you so much for tuning in today with Success on the Move. I'm Kate Spare, and I'll see you next time.
Join your favorite late-night host, Tyrone Jackson, as he sits down with today's most popular urban comedians who discuss the art of comedy on stage.
All y'all women, I would get you, but you know I'm already taking off the draft. You should have got me where I was cheap. Tell you, I was available. I was out there, all in the grocery store, just looking for love.
I just want to say, just right now,
the show you
got
right
is incredible.
In every episode, you'll learn the history of hip-hop and R&B and how that sound, music, and genre changed the world forever.
I'm Chris Wilkes. I am a dancer and a choreographer. I've worked for Mariah Carey, Timbaland, Metro Boomin, MC Hammer. Hip-hop is a worldwide phenomenon because it's something that's so universal. It's pretty welcoming to people who are willing to learn about it.
At Hot in Hollywood TV, when we're on the red carpet, you're on the red carpet. And we have access to the biggest stars in the world, like Lenny Kravitz, Heidi Klum, Elton John, and more. Then there's the Urban Movie Review, where we take a look back in each episode of some of the greatest urban films ever made and frequently overlooked in modern cinema. Films like Cooley High, Shaft, and Cleopatra Jones.
Soundtracks go hand in hand with the script. Do you know what I mean? Even now, to this day.
They say I'm hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it.
Now you can join Dean Edwards and crew as they take you back to some of the greatest movies ever made for the urban audience. Also, there's The Sensual Woman. Then there's Gossip Queens.
All right, so I was traveling. I was booked to travel with a celebrity client. So I check in at the front desk, and they give me my room key and everything, right? So I go upstairs, I put my room key in and go to open the door. Lo and behold, look who's in my room.
What?
Yeah.
Then you can work out every week with celebrity trainer Venus Moore on Chocolate Soul.
Feels so good when my body is moving. So good. You're almost there, guys. Keep working. Got them timers up. Bam! 30 seconds.
Find out for yourself why Hot in Hollywood TV is one of the hottest new streaming services on the planet. So what are you waiting for? Start your free subscription to Hot in Hollywood TV right now.